YouTube viewers, Rectangular back with another haul video. This time we have Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards, who is the leader of the Fantastic Four, and as many of you already know, I'm a big fan of the Fantastic Four, mostly for nostalgic reasons, but I already had this figure that was mint on card when I got him, and I'm not a mint on card collector, but I needed a second one to keep. Not only do I like to have multiples of my favorite figures just in case, but since I got the Fantastic car, I wanted to have a set of figures pretty much to keep in my Fantastic car, just so that I can have one set in a semi-permanent display and one set ready to go for A.C.B.A. Got this off of eBay. Got a good price for him, and he just happened to be complete, which was cool. Really nothing wrong with him at all. He's pretty much fresh out of the package. He did have a slight blemish on his forehead that may or may not be visible anymore. He does have some little frayed plastic material that I need to trim off on his shoulders there, and a couple scuffs. I'm not sure if that was from the factory, but he doesn't really look played with, so you can just see he's got a couple marks on his back there, but he's in great shape. The arm that he came with seems a little bit loose to connect. I haven't compared it with the arm I already had, but yeah, I really like this figure. Back when Toy Biz was really cranking out good figures. Only doesn't have a whole lot of paint detail, but notice that the white there is a little bit overdone on that. I haven't decided if I'm going to touch it up because he's probably going to be in my Fantastic car most of the time. But yeah, it's got really nice paint shading with the black to complement the blue, and I think they did a really good job on that head sculpt, and I love all the different shades of brown and black and gray that they did with his hair. So anyway, I curious if they ended up using this body for some of the Spider-Man figures, because he is super skinny. To me, because of the shoulders, it looks a lot like the Sinister Six Spider-Man, which I don't own. So I'll be curious to see what other collectors have to say about that. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the next item in the haul. Well, it's pretty obvious we have a common theme running through the haul this week. We've got the two other members of the Fantastic Four, the Storm siblings, Sue Storm and Johnny Storm, aka the Invisible Woman and the Human Torch. So, not a big fan of this Invisible Woman. I do like the costume, you know, it's the classic blue costume, but never been a fan of that big man hand they have for her, and I believe Spider-Woman and Wasp also have that big man hand. But she came with Johnny Storm, and I needed another Human Torch. I have this figure already, but I needed a second one so that I could remove the flame effects and turn him into a completely powered down Human Torch, where I'm gonna repaint his hair blonde and remove all the flames and fill all the holes that they attach into with some sculpt, and paint him so that he's a little bit more consistent with Sue's costume and Reed's costume here. You can see that they're both slightly lighter blue, where he is almost purple. It's kind of hard to tell in this light, but up close he's definitely more of a purple shade, and the two of them, in fact she does have some lighter shades on her, but they really need to be this same color as Reed over here. So I don't know how difficult that's going to be. If it ends up being more trouble than it's worth, I'm not going to worry about it too much, because for the most part he's going to be in my all these guys and gals are going to be in the Fantastic car. So yeah, that's my intention. So once the Fantastic car is done with its retrogrades for the Thing, then I will show them off. Hopefully I can get these modifications done to Johnny as well, and put them all in there and show you guys what it looks like fully loaded. Alright, let's see what else I got. Next up we have the Thing, aka Ben Grimm, from the Fantastic Four Classics line. I believe this was Series 2, and if you've seen my previous videos, you notice that I was able to find this for a really good deal, mint on card. Unfortunately, I found this on eBay for more than I paid for the mint on card one, and also I kind of hastily purchased this thinking that I could get it to fit in the Fantastic car. After getting the Fantastic car and making some modifications to it, I could not get my existing figure like this to fit inside it, and knew that it was not going to be an option. His legs just don't come together close enough, and his feet are pretty huge for the small space that they gave for the character. So instead, I had to get the next item, the Thing from the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer movie, and right away you can tell that his legs can come together much more than the Classics one, and he's smaller. There you go, for comparison. And his feet are a heck of a lot smaller, so you can see just the stance, normal stance of the Classics one is just huge compared to this guy. I have already made some modifications to this figure to make it look a lot more like the character. I had thought about putting the head from this figure onto here, but it is not that much bigger than this one. So what I did is I just cut the human nose that he had. He had a human nose protruding out up past his lip there, and cut that off. It looks a whole heck of a lot more like the Thing now. The only thing that I probably will try to do is sculpt his brow a little bit out more, and maybe a little bit more defined in the front. But being that he's going to just be in my Fantastic car pretty much all the time, I don't know that it's worth doing all that work. It's not a bad, not a terrible figure. You can look up really far, which is nice. I actually did modify the peg a little bit, the disc, so that he could look both up and down a little better than he could, but to be fair, it already had a pretty good range of motion. I just, this one I think was just, had some, the sculpt was a little bit off, so I just fixed it, and now it's going to work much better. And yeah, so pretty soon here I'll show you what he looks like in the Fantastic car. It's still a pretty tight fit, but was able to pull it off. Alright, good thing he's going to be in that vehicle, because he does not even stand very well. Before I wrap this up, I wanted to show the modifications that I made to my Human Torch, aka Johnny Storm. Had to pull the flame parts off of him. You can see there. So these would be pretty cool for different effects in different A.C.B.A. shots. Very nice. Things are hard to come by, so I have the ones that came with Iron Fists that worked really well in that Loki shot that I did last week. This is pretty cool. And so when I pulled those off, there was some pretty big these parts were actually in they had cavities in his chest that I had to fill with epoxy sculpt. And it was the first time using epoxy sculpt, so thanks to guys like Mahoney who did some really nice tutorials I have on my tutorials playlist, so check those out, and check out Billy's channel. He's an amazing customizer and toy canic as he calls himself. So yeah, I got pretty lucky that was able to match the paint color on this guy pretty well. You know, it's not going to be perfect, plus you know it's just hard plastic, so it's shiny, so when you paint it, I didn't want to put a gloss coating on it to try to match it that perfectly. If anything, I might just put a matte sealant over the entire torso or the entire figure to try to match it a little bit better, but it turned out pretty well. I'm happy. I think the hair is could have been a little better. I could have started out with a darker shade, because I ended up having to go back in and add some darker shades. Hopefully that's showing up well on camera. Yeah, it's nice to get back into painting. You don't learn without making mistakes, so I'll do much better with the figures down the road, but I think it turned out pretty damn well. He had some areas on his gloves that had to be filled in with epoxy sculpt, and same on his boots. So that turned out pretty well. So I'm happy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This would be nice to have a completely powered down Johnny Storm, not just for my Fantastic car, but for other shots. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this week. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Please leave a comment below, subscribe, share, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.